Good evening. It's about a little bit after 6. Let's get started. So I got a little surprises. If any of you have been on Facebook, you've been seeing my posts. I've been posting a lot of different small little quizzes to make sure, like little flashcards type quizzes to get you started. I had them on my website, but I haven't really made any new ones recently. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to start, instead of me lecturing, showing, let's see what you know. So I've made small little quizzes. Some are rather long, but let me show you what I've done. So let me share my screen. And let me see. I've made a bunch of different ones. I think we're going to do linear equations, slope from an equation tonight. So let me show you some things I've done already. Let me increase my zoom here. Squares and square roots, they all on my website. I just made some new ones earlier. Slope from equation. This is a full practice test. Actually, it's larger than the full practice. It's 63 questions. I got problems of the day, algebraic expressions, geometry, formulas, first 5. These are all on the website. But what I included recently is quadratic equations, I believe. And where did I put it? An equation of a line. So some of these things I want to go over, linear equations from a graph. So some of these I want to go over to make sure we are all on the same page. And this is a free site that I like to use. Like I like to use all my resources. I like for them to be free, so you don't have to pay anything. Now I did put a price on the ebook because when I first brought it up, nobody would get it. Then put a price on, then everybody bought it, and then everything took off. So I can say though, Darlene, with her passing her test the other day, I've helped 130 people. So I can't wait till I get 100. So my goal is first, the next goal is 150. And then I hope also I'm gonna take my entire family out when I get each one person from each state in the contiguous United States. So I'm hoping for that too. So that's the two things I'm waiting for. But right now I got 130 people. I got about 13 in a pipeline about to take a test in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So hopefully I can get to 150 by the end of September. I'm hoping that's will be another 20. So hopefully I can. And hopefully you're one of those people. So what I want to do is, this is what I'm doing. This is a little different here. I've never tried this with this class ever in my life. I've never tried it before. So usually I let people make their own decision. But what I want to do is I want to have a little to see what we know in terms of linear equations and this different areas. So I'm gonna go here, but what you're gonna have to do is, even though we're on Zoom, you're going to open up another tab and you're going to see the questions on your screen and you're going to have to answer. Now, I'm gonna do them individually today. I'm not going to do teams. Again, this is the first time I've done it, but I do want to try it. So first we're going to do slope from an equation. Okay, so we're going to have slope intercept form and standard form, and we're going to see how we do. So first, let me start a live quiz, and let's see how it go. This is only 10 questions. We're going to see how it go. If you say, Mr. Tesla, we don't want to do that anymore, you just let me know.
Do we need pen and pad for this?
Say it again.
Do we need pencil and pad for this?
Yes, we do.
Well, you should always have pencil and paper. You should always have your calculator. You should always have your formula sheet. Okay, let me see. I don't know what this is doing here. I just want to continue. What is all these new options? I've never seen these new options before. This must be all new. So I'm just going to keep it the way it is. And let's see how this works. Let's see how this works. This is the first time I've been doing this, so just bear with me. I think it'll be fun. Let's see. So first of all, what you're going to have to do is, if it ever loads up, you're going to have to go to joinmyquiz.com. So open up another tab. Don't close your Zoom. Go to joinmyquiz.com, and you're going to enter that game code that you see on the screen, 233744.
Just click on join my quiz.
Yeah, joinmyquiz.com. So Penny is in. And use the code 233744. T is in.
I'm trying to do it.
Joinmyquiz.com.
Do I hit to start first, or do I hit just join my quiz?
Now go to joinmyquiz.com, and then you're going to enter the code 233744.
I clicked on it, but I'm not getting it.
Game?
Won't let me do it, Mr. Tinsley.
What do you mean? What do you see on the screen?
I see joinmyquiz.com. I clicked on it. I get nothing.
Hold on, I'm gonna do it right now. Joinmyquiz.com. Make sure it's no spaces. It comes right up for me.
Okay, well, let me open up a new tab. This.
Rachel is in.
Mm-hmm.
And then right when you come, it comes right up. Joinmyquiz.com, 233744. Let me join. I'm gonna join. Let's see what it says. Let me see. Enter your name, Mr. Tinsley. Let's see. Start. Yeah, it's not too hard. It came right up for me.
Yeah, if you maybe just try going on quiz.com and don't put join. That's what I did.
Let me do it here. Hold on.
So it makes it look like there's spaces in between there, but no spaces. Joinmyquiz.com.
Yes. Hold on.
We're gonna give a couple more minutes and then we're gonna start. Linnell? Linnell? And let's see how we like this. Let's see. Let me rename myself. I'm sorry. Joinmyquiz.com. No spaces. Okay, someone else cannot get in either. Did you get in, Earl?
I'm trying right now. Join.
So go click up in your address bar, not in the Google search, right in the address bar itself.
Oh, okay. Well, I went in Google.
Right, go straight up to the address bar, right up here. So let me get my pencil right up here, right in the address bar, right up here.
I'll open up a new tab. Could you help me?
Yeah, hit this plus sign right here. So right next to your tab, you'll see a plus sign. Click that plus sign.
Open up a tab.
New tab, yeah.
And go to joinmyquiz.com.
You gotta open the browser. You didn't even log in. No.
Linnell,
Yes.
how you doing? Open up a new tab and go to joinmyquiz.com.
Now how I do that?
Right in your browser, you should see a
Go to the
plus sign.
website.
If you're on Chrome, you should see a plus sign or a tab to the right of whatever tab you have open now, and you can open a new tab.
All right. Let's see.
And then go to joinmyquiz.com. And if not, that's okay. You can watch along, and then what happens is later on, if y'all enjoy this, I can create some more. So for right now, it's 3 people in. Are you in, Earl? You in?
Trying to get in here.
The code is
I can't get it.
233744.
I can't get in.
I can't get it.
So one of the things we want to make sure also is math is important, but digital literacy and digital literacy skills are also important. So be able to surf the internet, open new tabs, open incognito tabs are all very important, especially in this workforce. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start. If you right now, what we do is you could just watch what happens.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead. Let me close my annotation tool. We're gonna go ahead and start. You should see some type of countdown, hopefully. And now you should see a question.
What is the slope intercept?
What is the slope intercept form of a linear equation? And you're gonna type which one you think it is.
Mr. Tisney.
Yes. What is the slope intercept form of a linear equation? Everyone answered. Let's see how we did. Now, I don't know what it's going to show. There we go.
I just guessed on that one. So I wasn't
Okay,
sure.
so 5 people, all 5 people answered it correctly. So slope intercept form of linear equation is y equal mx plus b. So if you notice here, this is the correct answer, y equal mx plus b. All right, let's go to the next question. How do I go to the next question? Oh, next question right there. Go. Okay, let's see if that works. It should see a countdown. What is the standard form of a linear equation? A, B, 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Y equal mx, huh?
The standard form of a linear equation.
This. Oh man. Y equal. What is CMT? Slope intercept form.
Time's up. So if you notice, I gave about 30 seconds for
Okay.
each problem. Let's see what we get now. Okay, let's see. T is now in first place. 3 people got it incorrect. 1 person got it incorrect. Now we just did slope intercept form. So this is slope intercept form here. Y equal mx plus b. These were just put on here to trick you. And standard form is here. This is standard form. Okay, these are 2 forms of linear equations you must know. These are the 2 you're going to see on your exam. So you have to be ready. All right, so let me say that. Let me clear it and let's go to the next question. Let's see. Okay, you should see a countdown. And the next question is y equal 2x plus 3. What is the slope and y-intercept? And we know that M stands for slope and B stands for y-intercept.
I don't see anything.
Oh, what?
On.
Time is up. Let's see. Oh, I'm catching up to you, T. So when you look at this, if you notice this is in slope intercept form is y equal mx plus b. So whatever's in front of the x is your slope. So your m is 2. Whatever's left is your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is plus 3. So you should have selected m equal 2 and b equal 3. Okay. So we're going to also find out what our mistakes are as we do this. Let's go to the next question. I only have 10. So we're on question number 4. What is the slope and y-intercept of y equal 2/3 x minus 5?
What?
What is the slope and y-intercept of y equal 2/3 x minus 5?
I can click on it.
So again, this should have been a fairly easy problem, but what happens is people see fractions and they get scared. Y equal mx plus b. Whatever's in front of the x is your slope. It's that easy. So your slope is 2/3. Whatever's left is your y-intercept minus 5. So your slope is 2/3. So your slope is 2/3. And your y-intercept is -5. So here is the correct answer. Okay. So again, let this be a learning experience. Understand what slope-intercept form it means. It starts with y equal. Let me clear the screen. Let's try the next question. I think standard form is coming up next. So this is going to take some. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We're on question number 5. What is the slope and y-intercept? Y equal -5/4 x plus 2.
What's up, baby?
All right, now everyone answered that question. Let's see if how we did. Oh, Mr. T up in the lead. Okay, you better watch out. Now, most people got this incorrect. Remember, y equal mx plus b. All we're doing is identifying what's in front of the x. What is in front of the x? -5/4. So our slope is -5/4. Our y-intercept is plus 2. Okay, so only one person got that correct. Okay, so this is why I said, let me assess, let's see what people know, because this is something you should be able to look at in a linear equation, the slope-intercept form, and you should be able to get the slope and y-intercept within 10 to 15 seconds. So this is something that I have on my website that you can, it varies the questions and the multiple choice, but once you take it once or twice, you kind of remember all the answers because it's only 10 of them. But just to help you. So I'll be making more of these because I actually like them a whole lot. So let's go to the next question and let's see. What is the slope and y-intercept of y equal 1/4 x minus 8? Oh, somebody answered that quickly. I don't know who that is, but they answered it quickly. Yes. Y equal 1/4 x minus 8. Okay, someone did not answer. Let's see where we can find out how people done on this question. Oh, he has taken the lead over Mr. Tinsley. So now everybody who answered got that one correctly. So very good. Y equal mx plus b. Boom. M is 1/4. B is -8. Perfect. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, let's try the next one. Now this, I believe, is standard form. So this may be a little bit more difficult. So you have to be ready. Oh my goodness. This is not y. What is the slope and y-intercept? Y equal 0.02 x plus 250. Oh my goodness. Now, I gave you a little bit of longer time here. I gave you a minute. Oh, somebody answered already. Okay. Oh, pretty good. Okay. People answered that one, and I thought that was the hardest one. Let's see. Let's see how people done. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. T is still up in the lead. Okay, so three people got it correct. One person got it incorrect. Oh no, two people got it incorrect. Let's find out why. First of all, let me ask you a question. If you look at this equation, is the slope positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Because your 0.02 is positive. So right away, it can't be this because this slope is negative. It can't be this one because the slope is negative. Remember, we want to use our elimination strategies also. Right away, we notice the slope is positive. We can get rid of the two negatives. Now, what you didn't know is I changed it up. Now, what's this y-intercept?
250.
250. So it can't be the third one. Now, I made this a little bit more difficult because what I wanted you to do is the slope is 0.02. But if you notice, my answers for the slope is in fractions. So what I wanted you to do is know that 0.02 is actually 2 over 100. And when I reduce that to lowest terms, you get 1 over 50. So the slope is 1 over 50. The y-intercept is 250. Now, some people might say, Mr. Tinsley, is plus 250 and 250 the same thing? Yes, they are. So what the y-intercept means is on the graph, if I have a graph, and this is 250, this is not the scale, this is where that line crosses the y-axis. That's what the y-intercept is, where the line crosses the y-axis. That point on that coordinate plane is 0, 250. Now, could you have written 0, plus 250? Yes. You should know if you don't see a sign, it is positive. Okay, so now I think the standard form is coming up next. Let's see. Yes. What is the slope and y-intercept for 3x minus 2y is equal to 8? What is the slope and y-intercept of the equation 3x minus 2y is equal to 8? Okay, 4 out of 5 answered. Let's see what our results are. Oh, AT, you better watch out. I didn't caught you. Now, this one, out of four people, only one person got it correct. And of course, I think that was me, but let's see why. Let's make sure as a group that we understand how to do this. So let me ask you first, what form is this equation in?
Standard.
So this is standard form. What is standard form?
AX plus BY equals C.
AY plus BY equals C. If you notice, I put it right over top of that equation so we can identify what A, B, and C are very easily. What is A for this standard form of a linear equation?
3.
3. Does everybody understand why A is 3?
Yes.
Yes. What is B?
2.
2.
No.
Well,
-2.
-2. Remember,
Oh,
the coefficients in front of the variable. So 3 is in front of the X, -2 is in front of the Y. And C is what?
-8.
Positive
8?
Positive 8.
+8. Okay, if you see no sign, the sign is positive. Okay, so A is 3, B is -2, and C is 8. Can anybody tell me the easy way? I told you how to find the slope if you're given standard form. How did I tell you? What did I tell you what to do?
Put the 3 over the 2.
No, the formula actually, before we put the numbers in.
Or M equals 3x.
Just the formula for the slope. I don't want the actual numbers.
Y1, Y2.
No, no. So let me show you. I'm gonna show you a nice, easy way. Now, you can't use Y1 and Y2 on here because you don't have any points. So in this case, they're given to you in standard form. You identified your A, B, and C. The easy way to find a slope is take the opposite of A and put it over B. So if A is 3, what's the opposite of A?
-3.
-3. What's B?
+2.
Nope. What's B?
-2.
-2.
Okay.
So remember the formula. This is important that you know this. You won't see this in the textbook. Most teachers won't show you this. Okay, the easiest way, if you're given standard form, AX plus BY equals C, is take the opposite of A and put it over B. So the opposite of 3 is -3, B is -2. So the first thing you need to do is, whether you given standard form, is identify your A, B, and C. Now, -3 over -2 becomes what? Two negatives become a what?
Positive.
Positive. So your slope is 3/2. Now, to find your y-intercept, you're going to do something very similar. But this time you're going to put C over B. Hold on, Mr. Tins, you got lowercase b, you got big B. What you should remember is, from a linear equation, M stands for slope. So that lowercase m is the variable used for slope. The lowercase b is the variable used for the y-intercept. I use the capital A and a capital B and a capital C just to differentiate in the formula. In a lot of notes, you'll just see lowercase ax plus lowercase by plus c, but I made them capital so you know the difference between that capital B and that lowercase b. The lowercase b is for the y-intercept. The capital B is that coefficient of your y variable. Does everybody understand that? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, what is C?
C is A.
8. What's B?
Positive A. B is
Positive 8.
yes.
What's B?
B is -2.
-2. What is 8 divided by -2?
4.
What is 8 divided by -2?
-4.
-4. So now we have our slope. Let me use a different color. Let me use a different color here. We have our slope, which is 3/2. We have our y-intercept, which is -4. So if we wanted to rewrite this equation in slope-intercept form, can anybody tell me what that would be? If we want to rewrite this equation in slope-intercept form. If we know the slope is 3/2 and the
3/2.
y-intercept is -4.
-3/2
No,
plus
it must start with what?
M.
It must start with what?
Y
Y.
equals
Y equals what?
-3.
No. What's the slope?
3/2.
3/2. 3/2 what?
X.
Plus
X. And then what's the y-intercept?
plus
What's the y-intercept?
-4.
-4.
Yeah.
That's how you convert from standard form to slope-intercept form. This is how you find the slope from standard form. This is how you find the y-intercept from standard form. So many people waste so much time on these problems. So put that hard work now to be able to identify whether a linear equation is slope-intercept form or whether it's standard form. Be able to identify how do you figure out the slope and y-intercept. It will behoove you to know these skills. Linear equations are anywhere from 7 to 10 problems on your exam. You have to be ready. Okay, so that was a good one. I think we have 2 more questions. And let's see, now these are probably going to be standard form. So hold on, did everybody write down what standard form is, how to identify A, B, and C, and then how to identify your slope and your y-intercept? Did everybody write those down?
Yes.
Because this is important. It's important. It's going to save you a lot of time, because this is the alternative that you have. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. 3x minus 2y equal 8. Otherwise, you would have to do this to solve this linear equation for y. Subtract 3x. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. I combine my equations. My 3x's cancel. I bring down my minus 2y. I bring down my equal. I bring down my 8, and I bring down my minus 3x. But I know that the form that I want is y equal mx plus b. So I want my variable to come before my constant. So I'm going to change it a little bit. So I'm going to do minus 2y equal, and I'm going to put my minus 3x first. Minus 3x plus 8. Does everybody understand why I did that?
Sure, it's the long way.
No, it's not the long way. Why did I change the order of the 8 and the minus 3x? Oh, let me ask you this.
You put
Can I
it in slope intercept form?
Right, so it will be in slope intercept form. That's it. And this is why you got to remember. See, this is what happens. Everybody, oh my God, what is he doing? I don't know how to do it. It's very simple. All I did was, instead of saying minus 4 plus 7, I just did 7 minus 4. I just reversed the order of my values so it can be in slope intercept form. Now, y is still not by itself. Now, these are the algebraic principles. You should be able to solve for any variable. So if I want to
So you
get
have to
y,
divide by 2, take away 2y, divide by 2.
divide by 2,
Yes.
not divide by 2. What's that variable in front of that y?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So I got to divide by negative 2. Now,
And the
what you
8 divide by negative 2.
Now, what you also have to do is remember, whatever I do to one side of the
You have
equation,
to, yeah.
I must do on the other side of the equation. But what you should notice is they are not like terms. So you have to do them separately. So I'm going to divide this by negative 2, and I'm going to divide this by negative 2, because they are not like terms. Now, let me change back to red. My negative 2's cancel. I'm left with, I'm running out of room here. Y equal 2 negatives make a what?
Positive.
Positive. So I'm left with 3/2 x. And then what's 8 divided by negative 2?
4.
Negative
Neg-
4. Did we get the same thing?
Yes.
Yes, but it took you so much longer to do it this way. Now, watch what I do. I'm going to show you again because I need you to truly understand that this is not difficult. So I don't want you sitting there, oh my God, this is so hard. I want you to take a deep breath, because only one person got this right, and that was me. So I need everybody to take 5 deep breaths. And I want you to remember this when you're taking your exam. When you are frustrated, when you are anxious, when you are scared, I need you to take deep breaths and then say something positive. You know what? I know Mr. Tenzi showed me how to do this. What do I know? Oh, it's in standard form. My A is 3. My B is -2. My C is 8. Now watch this. I'm going to show you something. Watch this. When I look at this, since I know how to find a slope, which is opposite of A over B, the opposite of 3 is -3 over B is -2. I just found my slope in 8 seconds. Watch my y-intercept. C over B. My C is 8. My B is -2. 8 divided by 2 is -4. I just found my y-intercept in 5 seconds. This is not a difficult task, but what has to happen is you have to be able to recognize what slope-intercept form is and what standard form is. And you do about 10, 15, 20 questions. You do enough to when you get to that test, when you see it, you laughing all the way to the bank. But you put the hard work in now. Remember, so let me put this a big square. Standard form. AX plus BY equals C. Identify your A, B, and C. plug into these two little equations that I gave you. It'll make your job so much easier. You will finish your test with so much time to spare. I guarantee you. Okay, let's try the next. I believe we have two more. Let's see.
I got a
Let's see.
question.
Yes.
Like you got the negative, like on the one I got wrong here is the -3/2, right?
Right.
If that was a -4, would that be correct?
If it was -4, what you mean if it's 4x minus 2y?
No, see, the answer I picked was -3/2 plus
Negative
4.
3/2. Oh, right here.
Yes.
No,
Now, if that was
no, because the slope is 3/2. The y-intercept is -4. You
Right,
have
but
a
I'm saying-
-3/2 and you have a +4.
right, I'm saying if the +4 was -4, would that still be incorrect?
But it wasn't.
No, I'm just asking.
No, because the slope is 3/2. You have -3/2.
Oh,
Just
okay.
the
Okay.
y-intercept is -4. You have +4.
Right. So it's supposed to be a +3/2.
+3/2 because two
Okay.
negatives make a
Make
positive.
a positive.
And guess
Okay.
what? Guess what? Let me show you something. Let me also show you. Let me clear this real quick, and let me grab my calculator because you know I love the calculator. So let me make sure you don't have to make mistakes. When you have your calculator out, you're gonna say, "Okay, watch this." Now this is up to you, but I'm going to show you. Watch this. 3 store A minus 2 store B. 8 store C. To find the slope, I'm gonna hit ND. I'm gonna do minus A over B. Get out of my fraction, press enter. Oops. Oops. Oh, why did it give me a syntax error here? Let's see. A minus 2, A is 3, B is minus 2. Oops, that's why. Let's try it again. 3 store A minus 2 store B. 8 store C. Now, hopefully, we won't go wrong here. Minus A over B. Get out of your fraction, press enter. Interesting. I wonder why it won't let me do it. Interesting. I'll find out why. All right, we'll do it. A is 3. So the opposite of A is minus 3. B is minus 2. So why it wouldn't let me store in the variable, I don't know. But you can also use your calculator. Don't let signed numbers be the reason why you get a problem wrong. So identify your A is 3. B is minus 2. C is 8. To find the slope, I want negative A over B. Then you're going to go to your calculator. Okay? And do minus 3. Hit ND, minus 3. Now remember, if expression starts with a negative, use the negative next to enter. And then B is minus 2. What's my slope? 3/2. Again, identify your A, B, and C. To find my y-intercept is C over B. Then come back to your calculator, hit ND. My C is 8. My B is minus 2. Get out of your fraction, press enter. My y-intercept is -4. And what I see a lot of people where they make their mistakes is these signed numbers. You need to learn how to use this calculator so no signed number on this exam will give you a problem at all. So go through the whole section in the ebook. I give you every single way you can do a positive and negative number. Okay? So hold on, let me clear this. Let me save this. And let me clear. And I will find out why, because that's how I am. I will find out why it gave me a syntax error, because it usually gives you a syntax error when you're undefined. So I'll find out why. All right, let's try this next one. We have 2 left. And let's see if we can get this one right. What is the slope and y-intercept of 8x plus 2y is equal to 8? What is the slope and what is the y-intercept? All right, so 3 people answered. So this is where you got to say, so it's 2 things you can do. In your mind, oh my God, this is too hard. I hate it. I'm never doing it again. Or you can say, hold on, Mr. Tinsley just showed me that this is not difficult. So what I'm gonna need to do is I'm really gonna have to buckle down so I can focus and identify my A, B, and C. So first of all, is this equation standard form or slope-intercept form?
Standard.
Standard. So if you notice, I'm identifying the form every single time. What is standard form? What is standard form?
AX. AX plus BY equals C.
What's A?
A is your slope.
A is what? A is not my slope.
It's 8.
8. All we doing is identifying the coefficients. What's B?
2.
2. C is what?
8.
8. Now, how do I find my slope?
I will put
No, tell me the formula. How do you, if I'm given a linear equation in standard form, what's the easy way I told you to find the slope?
Y equal mx plus b.
Nope, that's slope-intercept form.
That's
M. M equal 8. Negative 8 over 2 equals
So what's the
A
formula
over
first?
B. A over B.
No, not A over B. No,
negative a.
negative
A.
A
A. Sorry.
over B. Write it down, put a square next to it, put an asterisk next to it, put standard form next to it, put AX plus BY. This is important. This is not difficult at all. A is 8, B is 2, C is 8. That's a sloppy 8 I just wrote there. Hold on. How do you find a slope? Negative A over B, the opposite of A over B. What is the opposite of A?
negative
Negative what?
8.
Negative 8. What is B?
2.
2. What does negative 8 over 2 reduce to?
Negative 4.
So my slope is what?
Negative 4.
Slope is negative 4. So slope is negative 4. It can't be this one. And now, negative 4 is on all the other 3. So I need to find my y-intercept. How do I find my y-intercept?
8 over 2.
C over b.
C over B.
Mhm.
Now, when you get it down, you won't have to say B, M equal minus A over B, B equals C over B. I'm doing that now because I'm modeling the way I want you to do it. To identify the type of linear equation, identify your A, B, and C, say your formula out loud. Slope is the opposite of A over B. Substitute your values in. Negative 8 over 2, you get negative 4. I got my slope. To find my y-intercept is C over B. That's 8 over 2. And then 8 over 2 reduces to what?
4.
4.
4.
So I know my y-intercept is 4. I know my slope is negative 4. So what? That's this here. Now, where the confusion might be is being confused between slope-intercept form and standard form. They are the same thing. They're just like if you have $1. You can have $1 bill, you can have 4 quarters, you can have 10 dimes, you can have 20 nickels, you can have $1 piece, you can have 2 50-cent pieces. They're the same thing. They're just displayed in a different manner. So in this case, the linear equation is shown in standard form. But if we wanted to make this in slope-intercept form, we know the slope, we know the y-intercept. Y equal minus 4x plus 4. That's the same exact equation. There's no difference. you have to be able to identify standard form or slope intercept form. And you have to practice, because if you don't, it's going to take you for a loop when you take this test. When I look over most people's GED exam or their practice test, most people got at least 5 to 6 questions wrong that have to do with linear equations. This is the area most people need the most. So if you can't go out on Saturday because you got to sacrifice to do linear equations, or you got to stay up an hour late or 30 minutes late to study some more linear equations, it has to be a consistent habit if you want to pass this exam, because linear equations are a great deal in this exam. Now, everybody that answered got this right. So let's go to the last question of the day. Oh my goodness. Oh, what is the slope and y-intercept of minus x minus 2y equal negative 14? Woo-hoo-hoo. It's a tough one right here. What is the slope and y-intercept of minus x minus 2y equal negative 14?
What?
Don't worry, I didn't even answer. I don't know how I didn't. I was trying to time my. I usually try to answer at 1 second. I must have missed it. Okay, so 2 people got it right, 1 people got it incorrect, 2 people did not answer. So let's go through it again. Let me change my. Let's do blue again. Let me do red. What form equation? Just standard form or slope intercept form?
Standard form.
This is standard. And what is standard form of a linear equation?
AX plus BY equals C.
So look at these negatives. I made them all negatives. I did this on purpose because this is where people make the biggest mistake. It's no mistake. Identify the coefficient in front of the variable. So A is what?
A is 1, negative 1.
Negative 1. No, it's not X.
Oh,
A is
1.
negative 1,
Right.
not X. A is negative 1. X is the variable. B is what?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. C is what?
Negative 14.
Negative 14. How do you find the slope? What's the easy way I showed you how to find the slope if you given an equation in standard form?
A over B.
Nope.
Negative A over B.
Negative A over B. So if you got to write it down 20 times tonight, write it down 20 times tonight. But this is what I can, A over B. No, it's negative A over B, the opposite of A over B. Now, if A is minus 1, what's the opposite of minus 1?
Positive.
Positive 1. And what's B?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So the slope of this line is what?
Should be a positive 1/2, right?
Why'd you get positive 1/2? Tell me why you got positive.
Because 2 negative is a positive, right?
Where do you see 2 negatives?
You got positive 1 and a positive 2. I mean, negative 1 and a negative 2.
Where do you see a negative 1?
First, the X, negative X1, right?
Okay, so let's go back. A is negative 1.
Yes.
B is negative 2.
Right.
So the
C is
opposite
negative
of
14.
negative 1
To
is
change
positive.
the formula is negative A over B. So you
Yeah.
want to take the opposite of A. So you said the opposite of A was a positive 1. You said it was a positive 1. I can go back in the recording.
Yeah.
B is negative 2.
Yes.
So again, this is where sign numbers keep creeping up, and this is where mistakes are being made. A positive and a negative makes a what? When you multiply and divide, a negative 1/2. So now we already know the slope, negative 1/2. So now we can get rid of this one. We can get rid of this one. So now we have 2 left.
Oh, wow.
They the same. -4. What did I write? What did I write there? I don't know what I write here. I don't know what I wrote here. I don't know. Anyway, to find that's a mistake on my fault. And to find the y-intercept is C over B, which is what?
Negative 14 over negative 2.
Negative 14 over negative 2. Now, two negatives make a what?
Positive.
Positive. So that means my y-intercept is +7. So my equation is y equal negative 1/2 x plus 7. I made a mistake. You see that?
Right.
I made the mistake, not you. I made it. So everyone's get credit for that one. But again, this is and I'll correct this by time if you take that quiz. But what I want you to understand, so this is I made several of these just to reinforce. And again, how much time did I give you? I only gave you 30 seconds. Because it should get to the point where it doesn't matter if you get a standard form or slope intercept form, you should be able to identify that slope and that y-intercept in less than 30 seconds. So I want you to practice, whether I don't care what resource you use. Now this is on my website. So you go to my website under the blog, you'll see the flashcards and you'll be able to access them. I also put them out on Facebook, but this is where you can practice. And I got a bunch of different ones, and that took almost 7 o'clock. Let's see who won. T, congratulations. Let me ask you something, T.
Thank you. What I was thinking was some of them I didn't know, but I was looking at the signs.
Okay.
That's what helped me.
So listen, so this is what I'm going to do. Next week, next Monday. Now, last week was 18 people. So I've been averaging about, believe it or not, like 12 people in the last month. But what I want to do is something a little different. And I haven't done it in a while. But this is what I'm going to do. Next week, as you log in, I'm going to put your name in a spin wheel. Okay? And I will pay for that person's exam. So I'm gonna put in the spin wheel, whoever it lands on, when you schedule your next exam, I can either reimburse you if you already paid for it or pay for your next exam. So you don't want to miss out next week. I'm giving out exams. But again, what I want you to do is, again, I want you focusing on small things and using your calculator at the same time. For example, let me put up a blank sheet here real quick. And let me get my pen because time went incredibly fast this evening. Can't believe it. It doesn't matter. Watch this. Plus 7y equal 14. I can look at this and say, you know what? Opposite of A is -3 over 7. My slope is -3/7. My y-intercept is 14 over 7, which is 2. Y equal -3/7 x plus 2. That's how fast you should be able to look at a standard form equation. You should notice that all I'm doing is taking the opposite of this number, putting it there, taking this number, putting it there, and I have my slope. You should be able to figure out your slope from standard equation by looking at it. And what I mean by that is you should be able to take less than 30 seconds to solve that problem. So what you do is make up standard equations. It doesn't matter. What you should also notice is, again, remember I told you math is about patterns. Most of the GED works with whole numbers. So this number will always be a multiple of this number. That's so your y-intercept will work out to a whole number. So what happens is, one of the questions I saw on Facebook the other day, the person had, I'm gonna just make this example up, -3x minus 8y equal 10, right? So again, it's still the same thing. Opposite of -3 is +3. over b is -8. So my slope is -3/8. My y-intercept is c, which is 10 over -8. 10 over -8 reduces to -5 over 4. It doesn't matter that that's not a whole number, because real life, everything is not in whole numbers. But if you understand the formula, all you're doing is plugging in y equal -3/8x minus 5/4. That is in slope-intercept form. But it does not matter. We still were able to find the slope in 5 to 10 seconds, and we were able to find the y-intercept in 5 to 10 seconds. Don't let signed numbers, don't let fractions, don't let all these things make you flustered. Linear equations are not hard at all. Now, slope-intercept form, y equal 0.02x minus 5. I said that earlier. What you got to know is this is slope-intercept form. That's different. Slope-intercept form is y equal mx plus b. M is my slope, b is my y-intercept. So whatever's in front of my x is my slope. So my slope here is 0.02. What's my y-intercept? -5. But it must start with y equal. So this is what I saw the other day. The person had y plus 3 equals 7x. Is this standard form? Is this standard form?
No.
No. Is this slope-intercept form?
Yes.
It is?
Not really. No.
No, it's
I don't
not
know what this
either.
is.
It's not either one of them.
But you have
But
to manipulate it.
You have to manipulate it. So how can I get the y by itself? I need to get rid of what?
3.
The plus 3. What's the
Minus
opposite of plus 3?
-3.
-3. So now if I subtract 3 from both sides, I get y equal, the 3's cancel, 7x minus 3. What's my slope now?
7.
7. What's my y-intercept now?
-3.
-3. You cannot let this test fool you. Be able to identify standard form, slope-intercept form. You may have to make some small modifications to change it to one of those forms, but that's not difficult. It doesn't matter. What we got to do is we got to improve our self-esteem. We got to improve our confidence. So as we go into this exam, nothing scares us. Also understand, you only need 55%. So if you come across a problem that seems too hard, skip it. If you had no idea what it is, pick an answer, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, hit next. If you have no idea, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I say pick A or D, then go. But that's just my opinion, because I've seen all the practice tests. I pick A or D, but that's your choice. Now, watch this. Let me show you something. 7x equal 3y minus 9. Is that standard form?
Standard.
Is that standard form?
You can change
Yes.
it to standard.
You can change it to standard, but is it standard form?
No.
Yes.
No. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. This does not say ax plus by equals c. This says 7x equals 3y minus 9. This is not standard form. But can you change it to standard form?
Yes.
How?
You take away you have to do a one-step equation, 3. You have to get the 3 by itself.
You add 9.
So remember, so you add 9. No.
Add 3
Remember,
to both
listen, look at what we want. We want ax plus by equals c. So on the left side of this equation, we have ax plus by equals c. Right now, on our equation, we only have 7x on the left side. So what you should notice is I have to have my variable y on the left side. How can I move this 3y to the left side of this equation?
Subtracting 3y.
Subtract 3y. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. Now I don't have a whole lot of room, but I'm subtract 3y. So 7x minus 3y equal, I'll bring down my equal, they cancel, and I have my -9. Is this now in standard form?
Yes.
Yes, this is now standard form. My A is what?
7,
My B is what?
3,
My B is what?
-9,
My B is what?
9.
My B is what? B.
Oh, 3.
3,
My B is what?
3,
My B is what?
-3, sorry.
-3. This is continuing. That's the attention to detail I'm talking about. You got to pay attention. The coefficient in front of the variable is A, B, and C. My A is 7, my B is -3, my C is what?
-9.
-9.
-9. To find my slope is -A over B. If A is 7, what's the opposite of 7?
-7.
-7. What is B?
-3.
-3. Two negatives make a what?
Positive.
Positive. So my slope is what?
Positive 7/3.
Positive 7/3 or positive 7/3. Positive 7/3. Now, to find my y-intercept is C over B. What's my C?
-9.
-9. What's my B?
-3.
-3. Two negatives make a what?
Positive.
What's 9/3?
3.
3. So I know my slope is 7/3. I know my y-intercept is +3. What would be my equation if I wanted to put it in slope-intercept form?
Y equals 7/3x plus 3.
Perfect. These are the things you must practice. This is why you must be on Schoology. I put the linear equations, I put all these different problems in so many different ways. You might be saying, oh my God, it's confusing me. No, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make the Schoology exams tough enough to when you get to the GED, you got it. You finished 40 minutes early. You call me up right after you finish your exam. Mr. Tinsley, I knocked it out. I passed. I want you to go through the hardships now. So when you take your actual exam, you're not anxious. You're not getting frustrated. You don't have fear. You're not scared. So you gotta put the work in the only way. Listen, can y'all see me?
Yes.
Let me see. Do I have a book? I don't have a book. Oh my goodness. I don't have a book. Oh, let me hold on. Okay, I'm gonna grab this little Bible, my little sayings of Bible scripture. I can't put this book on top of my head and everything in this book transferred to my brain. I can't learn all this material through osmosis. It is impossible. If you don't know what osmosis is, make sure you look it up. But my point is, the only way you can prepare for this exam is to practice, practice, practice. And I created the Schoology site for you to practice. So if you look on the practice site and you go through the first 5 problems, oh my God, I don't know how to do this, and you quit, you are doing yourself a disservice. The purpose of the quizzes and taking the practice exam is to see where you are. So you can identify what areas you need to work on some more. And then you practice in those areas. These are the things that you want to do. Practice, practice, practice. Now, you have these videos, you have the screenshot, you have my YouTube videos. What I'm telling you is linear equations, 7 to 10 problems. So now, what can I say I'm gonna clear the screen. How did you like that I guess you could call it a game. How did you like this little game?
That was
you like
fun.
that?
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll make them a little shorter. I'll make them maybe 5 questions. And we can do something like that, a little every night. Maybe do 5 questions and then we get into. But what I want to do, I know I went past the 7 o'clock hour, but what I do want to ask is, before we leave tonight, does anybody have a question or something they've been working on? Usually I ask this first. I apologize. Does anybody have anything or any problem that they've been working on that just stumped them during this week and they want to bring it up during this session? Anybody?
Yes, Mr. Tinsley.
Yes.
Okay, so the graph line on inequalities,
Mm-hmm.
I've mastered, well, I ain't gonna say mastered, but I've caught on to it, to the inequalities.
Okay.
But I'm having problems with the line, the open circle, the closed circle, and which direction. I keep, misunderstanding that. So
Okay, very good, very good. That's a wonderful question because if you notice, if you've
are
taken
they on the test?
yes, if you've taken the GED recently, not really the graphing, but the inequalities in general. Let me see if I thought I had them in here. And I don't. Let me try to find it real quick. Hold on, let me search. I'll tell you this. I'll do it real quick. I'll let you know. So say for example, I had minus 5x greater than equal to minus 25. I'm gonna make it real simple. I'm doing one step inequality. So in order to get x by itself, what do we need to do?
Divide by 5.
Not by 5. To get x by itself, we need to divide by what?
-5.
-5. So we're gonna
Okay,
divide by
-5.
-5. Whatever we do on one side, whatever we do on one side,
We
do
do
to
we do
the
on the
other
other.
side.
So we also want to divide by -5 on this side. This is very important. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make on inequalities. Okay, here, the two -5s cancel out. You're left with x. If you multiply or divide, when you're trying to get your variable by itself, if you have to multiply or divide by a negative number, the inequality will switch. So this becomes less than or equal to. Two negatives make a what?
Positive.
Positive. And then 25 divided by 5 is what?
5.
5. So how do I graph this? Okay, I'm gonna take my line. I need to go to +5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it's an equal sign, you make a solid circle. Because it's less than, you go to the left. That's it. Now, if this just was x less than 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would have an open circle with an arrow to the left. Got me?
So open
Okay,
means 5 is not included, and
No.
closed means 5 is included.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly it. Now, let me show you one more thing about inequality since we're there. Watch this. So what they've been doing lately is doing stuff like this. 5n minus 1 is let me see, no, let me say less than or equal to 2n minus 5n minus 5 plus 5 plus 3. So let's do
Tinsley,
a plus 4.
I
Let's do
got on
something
the
like that.
exam.
So, huh?
I got on the exam. Graph 3x plus 14 is greater than 6.
Oh, you did? Wow. Okay. I'm glad you told
It's
us
less
that.
than 6. Yeah, I got that to graph.
Okay. So let me do this. 2n plus 4 is less than or equal to 5n minus 1. Let me erase this. And I just made this up quickly. Hopefully it works out. Let me see. Minus 5 plus 5 plus 9 minus it should work out. So let me do it real quick. Let me show you how you would do it. And this is where a lot of people are making the mistakes. Okay, so first of all, let's do it. So first of all, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Anytime you have more than one operator, you're going to use please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So anything in the parentheses come first. Well, we look at the parentheses, we got n minus 1. There's nothing more I can simplify. Do I have any exponents? No. Multiplication. So you should know anything outside parentheses is multiplication. So I'm going to rewrite what I already had. And then I'm going to distribute this 5. 5 times n is what?
5n.
5 times minus 1 is what? -5. Okay, so now what do we want? We want all our variables on one side. We want all our numbers on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna subtract 5n from both sides, right? And I'm gonna have, what's 2n minus 5n?
3N.
Sure about that? 2n minus
Negative.
5n.
Negative 3N.
Negative 3n. You keep making a mistake with that sign numbers. Plus 4 is less than or equal to, they cancel, minus 5. We still don't have the variable by itself. What number do we need to get rid of right now?
Positive 4.
Positive 4. The opposite of plus 4 is what?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. So we bring down our minus 3n. Our 4's cancel, less than or equal to. Minus 5 minus 4.
1.
Minus 9.
Minus 9. Remember, when the signs are the same, you add them and keep the sign. Now, again, this is another issue where people make their mistake. I'm going to change my color. In order to get in by itself, what do we need to do?
Would you flip it?
Not yet.
Check.
In order to see, you're going ahead.
You gotta
We didn't
divide.
get in by itself yet. Divide by what?
3. Negative 3.
Divide by what? Negative 3.
Negative 3.
Whatever we do on one side,
On the other side, negative 3.
do on the other side. Now, because you multiplied or divided by a negative, you do what?
Sign.
That
Change
flips the sign. So n greater than or equal to 3. 1, 2, 3. Because you have an equal, it's going to be a solid circle. It's greater than, I'm going to the right. That's simple. Inequalities, you probably have 3 to 4 questions with inequalities. 2 will be word problems. 2 will be explicit. That means they're going to be problems like this. The other 2 will be in word problems. Okay. You have to be ready for inequalities. Now, one last thing I want to show you. 8 less than equal to 2n. Okay. In order to get it, hold on, let me clear everything else first, because this is very important. There's 2 reasons why you change the inequalities. One, if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative. The other, if your variable is on the right side. When you're doing equations, it doesn't matter. When you're doing inequalities, it does. So it's very important for you to understand. So in order to get n by itself, what would I do?
And add 8 to both sides.
No, in order to
Divide,
get
I'm sorry,
n by
divide.
itself.
Divide
by
2.
what?
2.
Divide by 2. The 2's cancel. I get n less than equal to 4. You are not done. In an inequality, your variable must be on the left side. So what you do is you switch the values and you switch the inequality. So I'm going to put my n over here. I'm going to put my 4 over here, and then I'm going to switch my inequality. One of the biggest mistakes people make on a GED exam. Either by, if they had to, and that's why every single inequality, you will either have to multiply or divide by a negative, or your variable is on the right side. Every single exam, I'm telling you. If I'm graphing this, 1, 2, 3, 4, because I have equal, solid circle, arrow to the right, because it's greater than. If it's less than, arrow to the left. If it's greater than, arrow to the right. If it's equal to, solid circle. If it's less than or greater than, open circle. Oops, I didn't mean to take that off. Meant to save it. All right. Any more questions before we leave this evening? Anybody have problems with? Did that clear your answer up, Shannon?
Oh, yes, and then I can come back and. watch it.
Yeah, I know you love it. I know you love. You ready to get back to inequalities? I know you are. All right, who's next? Any questions before we leave this evening?
So, Mr. Kingsley, if you see
Yes.
a question, y equal negative 0.5x plus 8, that is asking you for the slope.
Y equal what?
0.5x
Mm-hmm.
plus 8.
What's the slope? That's easy.
The slope is 5.
No, not 5.
It's in
Point
This is- 0.5,
0.5. What's my y-intercept?
8.
8.
Oh, so when you see this, they're asking you for the slope.
It doesn't matter. If you see y equal You want to remember slope intercept form, y equal mx plus b. I don't care what the order is. You can have y equals 7 minus 3x. You should know
Okay.
that the slope is what's in
It's-
front of the x.
Yes.
So the slope is -3.
Yes.
My y-intercept is +7. Now, you can change the order and say y equal minus 3x plus 7. You can do that. But if you do enough of this, if you practice enough, you'll know whatever in front of the x. If you got y equal, whatever's in front of the x,
That's
it's your
where
slope.
I have the problem because I can't identify the difference.
So now, if you are close to your exam, 143, 144, 141, 142, you should be having a one-on-one with me, and then we'll go over. That's, if you purchase the ebook, we'll go over
I told you that's
each
not a problem. I
individual
sent you an
concept.
email.
We'll go over each individual concept you're having problems with. I just got in the chat. It said I have problems with the formulas. So you got to know when to use them. So what you do is go on Schoology. So if you're having problems with your area or your perimeter formula, go to my area and perimeter section. If you're having areas with volume, go to my volume section. If you're having problems with slope from 2 points, all these are on your formula sheet. You just have to practice enough till you got it down. None of these problems are hard. Now, the last thing said, Mr. Tinny, one time it's hard, it is hard. If it wasn't hard, I passed. But what I want, when I say it's not hard, that's with practice. So you keep working it. For example, I don't care. Let me see if I got the study guide open. Let me go to a study guide real quick. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. Let me try to find one with that sphere, that crazy sphere looking sphere one.
Yeah, my problem
Watch
is
this.
that I don't know the difference in the
Watch
geometry.
this. Okay, so make sure we identify what those shapes are. Let's see. Where's
Yeah, the
come on, come on,
shapes
come on, come
is
on, come
my
on, come on. Where are
problem.
you? Where are you? Come on. There we go, right there. Watch this. I'm gonna show you how to use a formula and use the calculator to your best ability. I'm gonna show you right now. First of all, a sphere has a radius of 7.5 meters. Let me make this a little bit smaller so we can see the answers, right? Oops, that's too little. Because what I really want to show you, and I'm glad, Destiny, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is just for you. So I want you to listen. So watch this. A sphere has a radius of 7.5 centimeters. To the nearest cubic centimeter, what is the volume of the sphere? So again, as I tell you each class, identify what you know. My radius, oops, let me change that to red. I like using red on the video. My radius is 7.5. They want to know the volume of a sphere. So all you're going to do is go to your formula sheet. Find volume of a sphere. So I'm gonna come down here, there goes my sphere, there's my formula. 4/3 pi r cubed. Now let's go back to the question. Now, I know what my r is, so I'm gonna grab my calculator. Watch this, I'm gonna make this as easy as possible. This is why I told everybody. My advice to you is to go over the ebook the first 2 weeks. Watch this. Watch how easy this is. ND, 4/3, pi, which is 3.14. I use parentheses since I'm multiplying. R to the third. Well, I know my R is 7.5. 7.5 raised to the third power. If you don't know how to do those, that means you haven't gone through your ebook. That's an easy problem. Listen, take
Wow.
the 2 weeks, go
Yeah.
through the ebook, and I'm telling you, I'm going to give you every single possible way to pass this test. I'm telling you, identify the shape, identify your givens, get your formula from the formula sheet, plug in what you know. Really, I'm telling you, and then the Schoology is going to give you so much practice that you're going to be so prepared for everything that they can give you. It's going to be like, wow. Why I didn't believe what he was saying. I didn't see them 137 pages. I didn't want to go through all that. Or you know what? I know how to use the calculator this way. The reason why I go through each section like that and all that practice is so when you get to the harder sections, when you get to linear equations, when you get to quadratic equations, when you get to system of equations, when you go to evaluating a function, those problems take you 30 seconds to under a minute. The hardest problems will take you under a minute. How long did that take me? 15 seconds? 15 seconds. Now, somebody said, I don't know the shapes. So first of all, let me go back here real quick. Let me minimize this. Let me go to my formula sheet. You need to know all your shapes. So let me see, rectangular prism. Okay, if you get a rectangular prism, okay, all that is, do I got a square on here? Boom. Oops. Boom. Now I can't draw to perfectly, but I'm gonna try. That's a rectangular prism right there. All shapes you see every day. Your cabinet, your TV cabinet, your cabinets in your house, rectangular prism. Okay, a cylinder, something you see every single day. Aluminum can. Now they might turn it to the side, but it's a cylinder. A pyramid like in Egypt. This usually the base is a square. Boop, 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 boop.
So, Mr.
Now,
Kingsley, I got one standing up.
what?
I got one. It's a rectangular prism standing up.
Doesn't matter. So this is a cone, and I just showed you a sphere. So all you're going to do, it doesn't matter if it's to the left. It doesn't matter to what's the right. What do they want to know? They want to find the volume. Okay, you come to your volume for a rectangular prism. Length times width times height. Identify your length, identify your width, height, plug it in. That's it. So let me see if I can open up right quick one sheet. Let me see. Let me log into my let me see if I can log in here real quick. On in Khan Academy and CK12, I got a bunch of different stuff. Let me see if I can open up a sheet fairly quickly. So you just see the different shapes. You gotta know the different shapes. Otherwise, once you know the shapes, you just go to your formula sheet, plug in what they give you. Note the radius is from the point in the center to the edge. The diameter is from one side through the center to the other side. Let me see if I can get one real quick. Let me clear the screen. And let me find one that's all the shapes. I can't find all the shapes, but what I can tell you is this. You're going to have a rectangular prism or a cube, guaranteed. You're going to have an area perimeter of a rectangle, guaranteed. You're going to have area or circumference of a circle, guaranteed.
They gave composite figure to Mr. Kingsley and I couldn't do it.
Say that again.
Composite figure.
Oh, that's not hard.
It's hard. I couldn't do it.
Okay, I'm gonna show you in a minute. Let's see. Let me see if I can draw something real quick. Watch this. So I got my rectangle, right? On top of that, I got a all right, I'm gonna do a two-dimensional so you can just see it. Say I had a rectangular prism here on the bottom, and on top I have a I don't know, a pyramid. So I'm not good with drawing. Just what I'll do. Next Monday, I'll have some composite shapes ready for you for volume. What you want to recognize is, though, this is all you want to do. Say I had a pyramid up here. Okay, this is my 3D rectangular prism down here. And then on top, I got my pyramid. I don't know how well you can see that. But to find the volume of composite shape just means find the volume of each shape first and then add them together. So let me give you a two-dimensional one that I know I can do. Say I got, this is 7. Let me draw it. Let me clear the screen. I'm just gonna draw one for you so you can actually see it. Watch this. Let me get a rectangle first. I'm gonna do a two-dimensional area problem. I'm gonna do a composite area, and then I'm gonna do a a circle. I'm gonna have to draw the circle. I apologize. I'm gonna draw the circle. Let me see if I can draw it. Right? So let's say this is 7, this is 10. And they want to know the area of this composite shape. So first of all, what you have to realize is that I have a rectangle. Hold on for 1 second. First of all, you got to recognize you got a rectangle and you have a half a circle. The area of this rectangle is 7 times 10, 70. My half a circle. What do I know? Again, you have to go with what do I know? Well, this shares the same side as the rectangle. Well, this will be the diameter of a circle. So if my diameter is 5, my diameter is 10. See, I'm jumping ahead in my brain. Hold on. Since my diameter is 10, that means my radius is 5, because you should know the relationship between your diameter and your radius. So the second thing you should do is you say, hold on. My area of a circle I can get from my formula sheet. Pi r squared. Well, I know what r is. So area is equal to 5 squared times pi. So I get 25 times 3.14. And again, I'm going to grab my calculator because my calculator is my favorite friend on this exam. I'm going to have to clear some room here. But watch this. 5 squared times 3.14. But what you realize is this is the area of a circle. I only have a half a circle. So I need to divide by 2. And then I'm going to add my rectangle with 70. My total area for that composite shape is 109.75. So I got 75, 78.5. Since I have a half a circle, I do 78.5 divided by 2. And then I need to add my area of my rectangle. And now I have the area of the composite shape. Same thing for volume. They're going to give you different shapes. You take the volume of the first shape, take the volume of the second shape, add them together. That's it. Now, again, so I have some examples for that next week. I have some good examples for it next week. I just, little flustered, can't find it right now. But this is an example of what you would do for a composite shape. Remember, the first thing I need you to do on every problem, break it down to what you know. I have a rectangle. I have a circle. Okay. I'm going to go to my formula sheet. I'm going to find the area of my rectangle, length times width. I'm going to go to my formula sheet and find the area of a circle, area equal pi r squared. I'm going to go to my rectangle. I know my width is 10. I know my length is 7. I know my opposite side of my rectangle is the same side as my half circle. So I know my diameter is 10. Because I know my diameter is 10, I know my radius is 5. Okay, well, that's what I need to find the area of a circle. Okay, so I'm going to plug my 5 into that formula. 5 squared times 3.14, which is 78.5. But hold on, I had to realize that I don't have an entire circle. I only have a half a circle. So to find half of something, I divide by 2. So 78.5 divided by 2, whatever that was, I forget what it was.
39 something.
39.25. And then I had to add the area of my rectangle, which was 70. So I use my calculator for everything. Now, watch this. I'm going to show you something. Let me say this real quick. And I'm going to show you again that if you take your time with the calculator, I'm going to erase all this right here. Watch this. I'm going to erase all this right here because I wrote the formulas for you. But watch this. Watch what I do once I know how to use this calculator so efficiently. Watch this. Watch this. Oops. Let me close this out. Let me clear this. Watch this. I'm going to show you. Watch this. ND. Oops. Area equal pi r squared. So 3.1. Oops. Let me clear. Hold on. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna do my half circle first. So I'm gonna hit ND. So I know it's a half. And I'm gonna do pi r squared, 3.14 times r squared. I know my r is 5, so 5 squared. I know I need to divide it by 2. Boom. Pi r squared divided by 2. That's the area of my half circle. Plus 7 times 10. Done. 45 seconds. What I need you to do as you're taking these practice tests, as you're taking these quizzes, identify your givens, identify your formulas, go to your formula sheet, pull out your calculator, substitute in. Practice doing that, because when you get to your test, I'm telling you, most people who go through the ebook, take your test, finish 40 to 50 minutes early. I'm telling you, if you, I had several people, one failed 17 times, met me, went through the ebook 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, passed his exam. Had a person fail 23 times, met me, went through my ebook 2 weeks, 2 weeks later, passed the exam. Matter of fact, when she passed the exam, she thought the computer broke. She called the administrator, said something's wrong with the computer. The person said, no, you finished. Because she finished in 45 minutes. Practice, practice, practice using this. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you every shortcut that you need to pass this exam. If you don't know how to find equation of a line, in my ebook, I show you how to do it from 2 points. If you don't know how to do it, I show you how to do it. If you're given a point and a slope, I show you how to do it. Well, you do it in 2 seconds. I mean, less than a minute. So that way, when you got 10 or 15 problems, now you practice through the ebook. Now you go to Schoology and you take those practice exams. Now, remember what I told you. My exams are harder than a real exam. So if you score 60 on my practice exams, you're ready to go take your test. Now, I didn't say go take your test. You're ready to take your test. So what I advise you to do, if you bought the ebook and you go through the test and you scored a 65, a 62, 58, schedule your one-on-one. So then we can go over all the concepts, areas you had the most problems with. We go over that. I send you the video. You take about a week to go over all your weak points. Go on school. You practice, practice, practice. Go take your exam. You're going to pass. I'm telling you, you're going to pass. You're going to pass. I have no doubt you're going to pass. I wouldn't do this if I didn't think everybody that I'll help would pass. Hold on. I didn't say 80%. I didn't say 90%. I said I wouldn't do it if I couldn't help everyone pass the exam. What I need from you is putting that hard work in. When I look on Schoology and I see a person doing 10, 12 assignments, I know they're getting ready to go take the exam. I know they already scheduled me for a one-on-one. The only way you can get this down is once you have a concept, go practice it. So what you need to do is go home tonight, say, hold on, let me be able to identify standard form and slope intercept form. Can I find a slope and y-intercept within that minute that Mr. Tinsley was doing today during class? If I can't do it, you know what? I'm going to keep doing it because he already told us slope linear equations is 7 to 10 problems. So that's like somebody telling you how important an ingredient is in a certain food you're making, but you don't put it in. That makes no sense. I'm telling you, linear equations is up to 25% of your entire exam. Practice, 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 and work at it. You'll be fine. I'm telling you, you're going to pass. I'm 100% in 7 years. Listen, oh, no, I didn't want to do the one-on-one. I thought I was ready. Listen, I'm here for you. I'm a resource. So when I looked at your practice exams, I'll tell you whether you're ready or not. And I'll be honest with you. You're not ready. Hold off. Now, if you want to do it, waste your money, you can. But just wait. I'll tell you when you're ready. Let's do that one-on-one. You know what? You can answer that quickly. You use your calculator. Go ahead. Let's go. Go take your test. Call me when you're done your test. That's all I ask. Call it and then write comments after you pass the exam. So all you need to do, work hard. Understand that you only need 55 to 58% to pass your exam. You don't need to get every problem correct. Focus on the ones you know you can get and you know how to do. Then come back to those hard ones. Most people don't pass because they don't finish, or they spend too much time on the difficult problems. Easy, medium, hard, all worth 1 point. No matter if it's easy, medium, or difficult, it's all worth 1 point. So focus on the easy and medium questions. Make sure you get those right. And then after you finish the exam, come back to the most difficult problems. Listen, my biggest advice to you is that don't spend 5, 6, 7 minutes on one problem. Go through this test. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's hard. That's a little hard. Skip, flag it for review. Okay, do the next one. Do the next one. That's hard. I don't like that one. Skip it, flag it for review. When you finish and you skip, I had a person skip 14 questions. She skipped 1/3 of her exam and scored a 158. Now, she went back to those difficult problems and answered some of them, but a lot of them she didn't know how to do. What I'm telling you is focus on the easy and medium questions, then come back to those difficult questions. This is why I time you doing GED Math Monday. This is why I just timed you with that Quizzizz. This is why I time you, because you have to get in your mind with 2 minutes, with how long 2 minutes is. So you know this, you know what, 2, 3 minutes, I'm spending too long on this problem. I gotta go to the next question. I'll come back to this one. It's the most important thing I can tell you. Easy, medium, focus on those, flag for review. Now, if you don't know a problem, and listen, I don't know. You know what? Pick A, pick D, skip it, flag it for review, finish the exam, come back to those questions. And then what happens is, what you'll notice is, as you start getting those ones correct, your confidence, your self-esteem will get better. And then when you face that difficult problem, it won't be as hard. Oh, it's not that bad. I'm telling you, listen, I wouldn't tell you, listen, I'm not sitting here, I'm not here to take your money. I'm not here to tell you, no, listen, my goal is to have every single person that buys that ebook and comes to my GED Math Monday, that looks at my YouTube videos, to pass this exam. Everybody, 100%. Yesterday, last week, Darlene was my 130th person in about a year and a half. It's only me. I don't have a team full of people. 130 people. I got whole organizations that haven't had 130 people pass the exams. You in the right place. Now work hard. So when you think about going out, you think about not studying, think about Mr. Tinsley in your ear. Do you want their diploma? Do you want a better job? Yes, study. I'm sorry. I think I'm a comedian. I'm sorry. But anyway, all right. That is a wonderful night. I need you to focus. Go home, linear equation. Make sure you can identify standard form, then slope intercept form. Make sure you can identify the slope and y-intercept. Practice with that. If you focus on that, that's 2 or 3 questions right there. All right.
Can you do factoring too next week?
I can do factor next week. You mean quadratic equation or factor in general?
Factor in general.
I'll do factoring in general, and I also do factoring quadratic equations. I'll do both because they're both related.
Okay, great.
I also will do multiplying binomials next week. So multiplying binomials, factoring, and factoring quadratic equations. That's what we'll do next week. Any other suggestions for next week? Okay, everybody have a wonderful night. I smell that spaghetti downstairs cooking, slow cooking. I'm ready to eat.
Good night, Mr. Tinsley.
Thank you, Mr. Tinsley.
Everybody have a good night. Penny, do not log off. Wait for me.
Thank you. Bye.
Everybody have a good night. Bye-bye. You're welcome.